Would you recommend the one that we bought?
No.
Along these roads we roam, we find adventure through traveling, camping, boondocking, and exploring.
Hello everybody and welcome to Vlogcast episode number 95. My name is Russ.
And I'm Kerry.
And we are the roads we roam. We're a couple living full-time in our little guy Max.
We are still just outside of Sedona.
And if you can't tell, it's gorgeous back here.
Yes, the weather has not let us down at all.
Mm-hmm.
The slight breeze this morning making it perfect. However, a little bit of dust blowing up when the ATVs come by, so you have to make sure you're turning the other way.
And the dirt out here is red. So if you do come out in this area, just expect that you're going to have some red dust in and about, and you'll have a nice red tan all the time.
Yes,
though.
I may look like I've been getting more tan in the sun. That's not happening. It's all the nice dust and dirt going on. Today is
Q&A Tuesday.
Q&A Tuesday. And we have some really good questions that people have put forward, and I even have a great suggestion that somebody submitted.
Excellent.
So let's get to it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So question/comment number 1. This is all the way back from our vlog number 1.
Wow, an oldie but a goodie.
Well, this is Julie. She's been going through a while.
Julie, thank you so much for all your participation and your support. We truly enjoy it, and we're glad to answer any questions.
And you brought a smile to both our faces when we saw that it was all the way back to vlog number
Yeah.
1. Well, Julie Anderson asks, what kind of propane gauge did we buy? Now, this is in response. We were talking about some issues we had with running out of propane when we were in Alabama in the middle of the night, and we wanted to get something that would kind of give us a heads up before we just went to zero.
Yeah. So I don't recall the actual model or brand or part number right now. We can get that because we still have that gauge, and we'll get it, and Carrie will put a link to it down below. But basically, it was just the same type of gauge you go and buy at any of your, maybe like in Walmart, I think is where I got it, and you buy it in the grill section. It'll tell you, it's designed to tell you how much is on those propane things. The reason I stopped using it is because it really wasn't much better than just going at it blind, because it always read, it would drop just a little bit. It always read good, and then all of a sudden,
or nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So I just decided I didn't want to use it, and then we also had some leak issues too. So I figured one less item that could go bad or that could cause a leak was better. So that's how we got rid of it. But it does work a little bit, just not as good as you would hope.
So we'll put the link to the one that we did buy below. I think we spent about $12 on
That's
it.
about right.
So it wasn't very expensive. But there are others out there on the market that I've been curious about trying out. So if other people have any suggestions, I know that there's some that you can do a little sticker kind of on the side that it lets you know, kind of like those old little fever strips.
Yeah, they tell temperatures because it's much cooler where there's propane.
And then there's some that have like a cool little laser gun thing, which I probably shouldn't have said because he would like that.
Yeah,
that
me and my
gadget.
toys.
And then Russ found out one time, I can't remember where we were, but they were telling you the weight. So you could tell what a full one weighs versus a half full one.
Yeah, so an empty can weighs 18 pounds.
That's what it is.
That's your tare weight. So you can kind of guesstimate. I forget exactly how much propane weighs, but you could guesstimate by weight as well. And I think that would be a little bit more accurately. All you'd have to know is look at you'll have a number on your canister. If you're using the 5-gallon ones that we use, it'll say T18, and T18 means tare, 18, and tare being the weight of the canister. So once you find out, let's say, I don't know how much propane weighs, but maybe I'm just throwing a number out just so we can have an example. Let's say propane weighs 2 pounds per gallon, and you weigh 20 pounds, then you know you have 1 gallon of propane left, something like that.
So I would not, well, quick roundabout on that one. Would you recommend the one that we bought?
No. that's why we don't use it anymore.
So that's why we will put the link below, but it's one that we don't recommend. So if you want to save yourself a little bit of money and headache, that's the one to avoid. And we have not yet come across one that we've used that we'd say, yes, go out and buy.
And I just say it's not necessary. You run out of propane, you run out of propane.
Just always have a spare, and then you're good.
Exactly.
That's really what we've done, because we have a small unit and we only have this small one. We always carry a spare. So when we run out with one, we have that right away, and then the next time we run into town, we refill the other one.
Yeah, that's your best bet, is to always have a spare. Then if you run out, it's not a problem. Switch it out and good to go. All right, moving on to number 2.
Number 2, this was submitted by Donna Delahanty.
Hey, Donna, thank you for your question.
She asks, when you spray the elbow, this is in regard to your how to dump video.
Okay.
It's emptying your sewer tanks. When you spray the elbow with the bleach water mix, is it still connected to the little hole in the ground? And she's got 2 parts, so we'll just handle that one first.
Okay, so yeah, yes and no. So the first part, when I get the part where the actual hose connects into, I spray that when it's still connected to the receptacle, but then I unscrew it and I spray the other side so that can get clean
that
as
top
well.
part.
Exactly. So both, to be honest, but yeah.
And then I've seen Russ put it back in and take the designated sewer water hose and then rinse it all, so all of that will dump back down into the tank, and then you can take it and pack it away.
And what I've been using here is 3 parts water and 1 part bleach. I think when I first started I was using 1-to-1, but I've heard that bleach is very stressful on plastic. So if you mix it 3 parts water to 1 part bleach, you should be pretty good. And that's what I use.
So part 2 of
Okay.
her question, when do you clean the black hose?
You know, it just kind of depends. If it's easy enough for me to do it when I'm dumping at a site, I'll do it. If I definitely will rinse out the hose, you know, the sewer hose, the stinky slinky or whatever they call it, if I don't have a lot of gray water. So I tend to usually, if I know I'm dumping that day, I'll tell Carrie, I was like, hey, take a shower or do some dishes or just run some water into that gray tank, because by nature of the way you dump your tanks, you dump your black first, let all that go through, close your black off, and then dump your gray tank. And if you have a lot of water inside your gray tank, it'll do a really good job of flushing out the stinky slinky. But if you don't have a lot of water in the gray tank, then you're going to have to use your designated hose for cleaning your sewer with to rinse that out. But I would suggest doing that probably once every 2 to 3 times that you're dumping. But another thing too, this is just a little bonus tip that I talked about in that video, is just to make sure that you don't have any spillage coming out of those hoses, because you can never get those things fully dry. Connect the 2 ends together and then nothing seeps out.
That's a very good tip.
Yep.
I was really glad when he started doing that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, he used to have this big black bin, and before you started doing that, there would always be a little bit of water down the bottom, and I was like, I never want to touch that bucket.
Yeah, but now that I connect the 2 ends together, it's
you
dry.
don't have to worry about that. Question number 3, are you guys on Our Village? Yes, we are. For those of you, we will put a link to it below. It is an app and a website that RVers can connect. They can communicate to each other. You have a host of different information topics on there. They have different groups and boards, and it's spelled the letter R, the letter V, ILLAGE.com.
So it's really RV Illage. You know, one of the things, and I'm not familiar with this at all, Carrie does all the apps, but one function that you told me that it does that I really like is it tracks where you've stayed.
This is the coolest part, and I've talked about this briefly before. Whenever we leave, you can turn on the geolocator so it can tell when you go to a different place, and it'll give you a little reminder, hey, we've noticed that you've moved locations, would you like to check in? And you can check in if you're at a campsite, or if you're boondocking, it has a little thing, I'm boondocking right now, and you can say how long you'll be in the area. So it'll document that, and it'll plot it on your own personal little map. So we can see everywhere we've gone and everywhere we've stayed. But the other cool part of that is it will notify other Our Village members that you are in the area. It'll say, hey, Russ and Kerry just arrived in the area, say hello.
Now you can turn that off if you don't want that.
Yeah, if you want to be all incognito and stealthy.
Yep.
What I really liked about it, we had just signed up for the app. We were traveling through Manchester, Tennessee. We checked in at a campground, and about an hour later, we got a little message on there from this couple that said, welcome to the area. We're part-time RVers, but we live in this area. If you run into any issues or you need some help in the area, just let us know and we'd be happy to help.
Yeah, it's a great community-based app. I love the story that you talked about, this lady that people in our village realized, hey, she's not posting anymore. And I guess she was a pretty prolific poster. Why don't you tell people about that? Because that's a really interesting, it's kind of sad, but it's got to feel, it makes you feel good that the community is looking out for each other.
So this woman, as Russ said, was a fairly regular commenter. She communicated all the time, a long-time solo woman RVer. She was older and she had just not communicated for several days. So on the boards, people started asking, where was the last place you've seen her? When was the last person that talked with her? And through that network, they were able to find her. She had gone boondocking out in the desert somewhere. She had passed away of natural reasons. But she wasn't alone. I mean, as far as that, she was not forgotten. People think of this lifestyle as being very solitary sometimes, and she had a family looking for her and searching for her, and they found her. And then they raised money to help get her trailer back to her son, who was in another state that didn't have the ability to get her belongings back to where they belonged. And that was really what prompted me to want to be a part of that, because that right there said this is a great community.
Yeah.
It's a little bit not user-friendly right at the beginning. It takes a little while to get used to navigating within it, so you can't break anything. That's my mantra. I just keep hitting buttons until I get to where I need to go. But try it, and if you have any questions, send it to us. We'll try to answer it if we can.
Well, that'll be all Kerry, because I don't know anything about it.
So yes, we're members on Our Village. We think it's a great app. You should check it out. We've talked a lot about escapees. A ton of escapees members are on this board as well. So it's a great RV community.
Yep.
Question number 4.
Okay.
This was submitted by Audrey Carey. Hi, Audrey.
Hey, Audrey.
She wants to know if we use a power surge protector.
Yes, we do. I cannot for the life of me remember the power surge model number. Again, I'm going to rely on Kerry to put the model number below. But we use that power surge protector all the time. And what I mean by all the time, typically the reason you're getting a power surge protector is some of these camps, some of these campgrounds that you go to, you're just not sure what condition their power is in. And you're worried about surges, you're worried about grounds, reversed grounds and all this other stuff. So you get this power surge protector, you plug it in, and then ours has lights. It'll tell us has a neutral ground, reversed polarity, or it'll say if you get 2 green lights, that means everything's good to go. And really, I've never seen anything other than that. But whether we are plugging into a campsite, our generator, or somebody who has, if we're mooch docking and we plug into their house, we use it because it's just safe practice. Let's say that thing fries. Ours is a one-time use. If it surges and that goes, well, that one is done. But the good thing about that is we only lose $100, I think is what our surge protector costs us. Versus if we don't plug in, now we
fry our
electricity in the camper, and that's got to be several, $700-800 to have that rewired. So I think it's good to get one. I think you should use it all the time.
We will put the link below, but we also have, and I just pulled it up, so we actually use the Surge Guard entry-level portable surge protector, and it's model number 44260.
That's it. I knew it had 4 in it.
Yes. And on our little app, I don't know if you can see it on there, On our website, we have a products we use page.
Yes.
So anything that you see on our videos, or if you have questions, I try to put everything on there. I've been filling it up. It's amazing when you start thinking, oh, wow, we have this, we have this.
Yeah.
But it's a great way for me to keep an inventory of everything we've used.
I think that's the best way. I'm glad you brought that up, because you can see a lot of things that we do use, and some things that will never make it onto the video because they're small or insignificant. But they're insignificant for a video content, but you may want to or may need to have those. You should check that link out, and then you can see everything that we use. And not only do we have the pictures and stuff, but we also have links right back to Amazon, so you can look at everybody's reviews and you can look at great content about it.
The reason why I bring that up is Audrey had actually gone to our products we use page, and I had not had that listed up there yet. Because as what you pointed out, sometimes you just forget about some of those things that you don't use. So she brought it to my attention, and I was able to get it on there. So check out that stuff. But if you see something that you're looking for and you don't see it, message me, and we will try to get it up there if we're using something like that. And if not, we'll probably put it out there and ask other people what they recommend. So let me get back to our list here, because this is the suggestion that I had to bring in. So I know it's called a Q&A segment, but every now and then some of these really great suggestions make it through.
Yeah.
We were talking at Escapade about how if you weren't at an event, it was pretty quiet in and around the campground area because everybody went back to their quote-unquote homes.
Yeah.
And she said that what they like to do is sit outside and not just hibernate in their homes. But what they do that I thought was just ingenious, they always put out a few extra chairs. So if they're sitting and talking with some friends, they'll put out an extra chair or two. And if other people are walking by, they reach out, they say hello to them. Those people are going to be more inclined to want to gravitate over and come and join you because they feel like they're not intruding, that there's space.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when you go, I don't know, we used to do a lot of garage sailing back in the day, and you'd go, I'd feel nervous walking to a garage sale, and there'd be like 10 people sitting around chairs, and they were just yik-yakking. It felt unwelcoming, and I think that's a great, what's the word where it's subconscious welcome. People see that you're sitting outside, they see extra chairs, and it just makes them feel more open to come up and have conversation for you or with you, and I think that is a fantastic idea. Kerry and I have 2 extra chairs, plus these 2 stools that we're sitting on, and we were going to get rid of those extra chairs until we got that suggestion. Now we're going to keep them because one of the reasons we did this is we wanted to be more social. We wanted to talk to more people. And if we can invite more people to come sit down and talk with us, well, it's worth having the extra chairs lugging around with us.
So that suggestion was brought to us by Mary and Arnie. So
Guys,
you very much.
Thank you. That is just a golden suggestion,
so if you
and
see
we
us
will use
in the
it.
campground and there are 2 extra seats while we're sitting out there, that is an open invitation. Come and say hello.
Even if there isn't. If maybe I forget to put it out, yell at me and say, hey, Russ, where are your 2 extra seats?
Yeah, call them out on it, because that would be really fun.
Oh, well, is that it?
That is all we have today. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of us at theroadsweroam.com. Click on that contact page. You can submit it that way, or you can click on that little orange tab that says send voicemail, and we can get your questions and comments that way.
Yeah, I don't know. If I will beg. I love getting comments via that voice message stuff. So guys, it's really simple.
Lewis and KV have been very good
They
about
have been
that.
good at it. But it's very simple. You can do it over your phone. You can do it over a iPad, iPod. You can do it over your computer. It's very simple, and Kerry and I love hearing your voices. So even if you don't have a question, even if you wanted to just say, hey, Russ, hey, Kerry, we would much appreciate that.
Yeah, we don't want you to beg, Russ. We're just dropping your line to say hello.
No, everybody, that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining us. We will talk to you again tomorrow.
And don't forget to click that like and subscribe. Bye.
All right, bye.